Hi everybody, Paul here from Hill Country Rings. Today we're going to be making a ring from a buffalo nickel. So let's go in the shop. Now the buffalo nickel, otherwise known as the Indian head nickel, was struck from 1913 to 1937 when it was replaced with what we have now, the good old Thomas Jefferson nickel. And you're wondering, why did they replace it after 25 years? Well, actually, 25 years was the mandatory minimum striking time for coins. So they replaced it as soon as they could because this guy wears down so bad. They were finding that the dates would wear off, so you couldn't tell what date the nickel was. And so if you get one with the date you can actually read, that's actually pretty good, because they would just wear down to where you couldn't even tell what they were. And they figured, yeah, we need something that's more durable and lasting, doesn't wear as bad, so they did the Thomas Jefferson nickel. And that's why, like, the date is kind of inset in rather than kind of pushed out like this one. So that's just a little history on the nickel. It's I've never made a ring from a nickel, but gonna do it just like a coin ring, and I've got a bunch of other ones I got. Just in case I mess one up, I can start over, but I'm gonna go ahead and try this guy right here. He's got a pretty good looking buffalo, and you can read the United States of America and 5 cents, and I think it'll show the buffalo head on the outside of the ring. So let's get started on that. The first thing I need to do to make this ring is to punch a hole in the coin. And I use this die here and a steel punch with a holder that basically just I put it on the press and just crank it down till it just presses and pops right through the coin. Now I don't have a holder that's the right size for this nickel, so I'm just going to put it in the punch and just try to make sure I got it nice and lined up and then not move it. And I put a little bit of this Peppy Lube on a punch. Just makes it go through a lot cleaner. I'm going to put the top here on the punch very careful. Try not to move that coin. And I put my steel punch in, and I'm going to take it over to the press, and we're going to press it on the 5-ton press. Doesn't weigh 5 tons, but it will create 5 tons of pressure. Alright, we got that coin in the holder under the punch, and got that in the 5-ton press. And now we are just going to, so we got this hydraulic piston here, and we are going to just crank it down and slowly, and then it's just going to punch right through, and you'll hear a bang when it happens. And there it was. Alright, let's take it over and see how we did. Alright, let's take the top off the holder. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad at all. I mean, I think it came out fairly centered. So now I just got to get this guy off. Got a little trick for that. Just gonna put him in here and just kind of, and there's that coin. There's that nickel. Nice big hole punched through it. Looks like pretty good. You can see the 5 cents, the United States of America, the head and the butt of the buffalo. And so now this thing's kind of got some sharp edges, so we are going to take a little reamer and try to get some of those sharp edges off. Alright, this is just my little deburr, and it's got a blade on it, and it actually rotates around, so I can just put it right in here into the ring, or sorry, into the coin, and just go around a few times. And it just kind of takes off that sharp edge, because when I am putting this on the press to fold this coin, I'll show you that in a minute, if there is a sharp edge, it has a tendency to break at that sharp edge and crack. So we don't want that to happen. So we want it to have a nice sort of rounded edge on the inside of that coin, so that it will not crack or create a crack. So now we've got them nice and clean. Now we're going to anneal this coin, and I'm going to do that with blowtorch, and then we'll start folding him. Alright, we're going to go ahead and anneal him with a blowtorch. Just get him good and hot. We don't want him to melt, but we want him to, you'll see him change color. This window, yeah, he's getting good and hot. And then we just quench him in the water. And you're probably thinking, hey, wait a minute, I see these shows about making knives and they quench the metal in the water and that makes it hard. No, that's for ferrous metals like iron or steel. This is a copper nickel, and the quench doesn't do anything but cool it off. It doesn't make it hard again. And what the annealing does is makes it a little softer, so we can bend this coin. So let's go ahead and do that. And we'll do this process a couple of times. But we are going to now bend him or fold him. Alright, now I'm going to take the 2-ton press, and I've got this die here, and notice it's kind of like a cone on the inside. It goes in, and I'm going to put the coin in with the buffalo down, because what's down is what will actually show on the outside of the coin. And I put that on the press. It's really important to get them nice and centered, because coins have a tendency to go wonky when you're folding them. They want to go different ways, and it makes it kind of a pain. So try to get it perfectly centered there, nice and straight. And this little starter cone here, put him in there really nice and careful. And then push down on this on the press, and watch, I will actually bend that coin. And we bent him. Made like a little cone out of him. Go ahead and kneel him again. We do this every time we bend them, because folding a coin, bending it, that hardens, we call it work hardening the metal. And whenever you work harden the metal, you gotta kneel it so you can bend it some more. Otherwise it won't work. There we go. So we put him back on the press in that die. Now we're going to use a longer folding coin. So folding cone on the coin. And I got to get him straight. And then we are going to fold him some more. Basically just press him down. And he folded some more. He's getting there. Alright, now I'm going to take this coin to the ring stretcher, and this is a tool that has this big long stem here with these splines, and when I push this handle up, this piston goes up, and it forces these guys apart, so it'll stretch that ring from the inside. So I'll put them on here, and then I just push them up a little bit like that, and it stretches him. Let's see how it went down a little further, because he stretched. I give him a little turn, stretch, goes down, and turn, and stretch. Now I need to get this guy down to a 7.5, so let's go ahead and measure him. And we're also going to anneal it again. So my ring mandrel here says he is at a 4.5, so I need to get him to a 7.5. So I need to do some more stretching, so that means some more annealing. Got him back on the ring stretcher, and we stretch and twist, stretch, twist, stretch, and twist, stretch. And you can kind of feel when he starts to get hard, that's when it's okay, it's time to anneal again. And notice he's getting more straight. I put the cone shape down so we'd stretch him from the inside, so I'm getting him where he's going to stretch more flat. So I put it back on the mandrel, and it's like, oh no, he's a size 8. Well, we did that on purpose, because now we are going to put him on the other end of the ring stretcher and actually kind of squeeze this flared part to make it more flat. See how it's kind of flared? We want that to be flat. Want that sides to be flat. So we have a different part of the ring stretcher we're going to use now. So down here at the bottom of the ring stretcher, it's almost like a little press. There's this mandrel here that has these cones. So we're going to put the ring in with that wide edge down on the one where he just barely peeks up over the edge. Then we're going to take him, open up the little press, and we're going to squeeze him down just a little bit, like that, and that makes him a little bit more square. Now we're going to put him in this one, which is he sticks up a little more, and now we're going to do the same thing. Just kind of squeeze him a little bit. And that's getting him where he's getting flat. Alright, we're at a 7.5 now, so we're going to clean up this ring. Give him a little bit of sanding on the inside with some 220 just to get him nice and smooth. Just a little bit. Just in case there's any rough spots. Yeah, now we're going to clean him up with the buffer and polish him up. So I got him on the lathe, and I'm going to use this mag and aluminum polish, and this stuff stinks. We are just going to take a paper towel and get some of that on there. And then we're going to just turn him on and just spin him and polish him with it. Some polish. That black coming off. Do that a few times. See, he's getting polished. Well, here is one of those buffalo nickels, and here's the ring I made out of a buffalo nickel, and it came out pretty nice. I think it came out pretty good. So if you would like a ring from a buffalo nickel, let me know. I've still got a few of them left over. And if you would like to check out some of the other rings I make from Major League Baseball bats, from the decks of battleships, from the stock of M1 Garands, custom, do all custom. Check out hillcountryrings.com, and if you'd like to like and subscribe, that'd really help the channel. But drop me a comment and tell me what kind of ring you'd like to see me make next. I'd love to hear from you. And in the meantime, I'd love to make a ring for you. Thanks, everybody.